Hi everybody, it's Gypsy, and today we are going to talk about higher beings. What are they, what does it mean, etc. So, I want to show you guys my new cup. It's actually purple. It never comes out on the camera the right color, but I love this mug. Yes. Okay, so my son John will be answering these questions for us. All right. Okay, honey, so all right, now this is Michelle. I've heard we don't have a hierarchy in the spirit realm. Is that true? It's true to some extent, Mother, but sometimes, yeah, we have different jobs, different roles to play in various beings' lives throughout the universe. Or are we talking Earth? Well, throughout the universe, because we all know there are incarnations on other planets. Earth is not the only place to be. Right. I like when my mother says, it's very pretentious of earthlings to believe Earth is the only planet with inhabitable life, intelligent life. Mother would like to put in those quotes. Yes, because I don't think we're all that intelligent. Right. Upstairs, when you are at home in the spirit realm, in heaven, whatever any of you like to call it, you know these things. You incarnate in a being, in a physical being, particularly as one with higher intelligence. You have a tendency to forget more of upstairs. So are you saying animals, when we incarnate as animals, we retain more of our spiritual memory? We can, and we do. So when one is incarnated, depending on their, I don't want status. Yeah, I don't want to use status. Okay. Right. Status means to my mother like a caste system, who's better. Right. It isn't so much that. It is what type of individual you have chosen to be here. Now, when you get up to the spirit realm, yes, you are your true selves. Okay. Sorry, honey. I got in the way and he got my accent. So, on the matter of hierarchy, there really is no worth or value hierarchy. What we mean by a higher level being is someone who has more knowledge, right? More interdimensional. So what does that mean, interdimensional, especially when we're talking about in the spirit realm and on physical realms? What that meant was we can flip over to various dimensions. Wouldn't, like, incarnating be flipping over to another dimension, honey? That's a good question, Mom, and that's true. You do. When you incarnate into a body, into a physical body, you have flipped over into another dimension, albeit a lower one. Yuck. Right? That was my mother. I do feel that way. Yuck. Right. So, in the spirit realm, right, you hear of people, channeling Bashar. Bashar, who's the other one? I know who you're thinking of. Right. They appear to be very, very high-dimensional beings. Somebody you can't touch. Maybe somebody who's never incarnated before. Those of us who incarnate are the ones who obtain the knowledge. So we incarnate to gather more knowledge. It's a learning session. Yeah, a learning experience. When you incarnate into a physicality, you're right, you're getting the contrast, Mom. Upstairs, it's right, all love and fun. Freedom. Right, Mom, freedom. I love that word. I miss it so much. I know, and it's getting worse here. Anyways, that is what the difference is. Now, you get these higher beings, I'm sorry, honey, higher beings, such as Bashar. They appear more knowledgeable, and yes, they might speak differently. Now, what you take great umbrance with is people who, right, channel And they're using flowery language to the point even, well, someone like my mother doesn't get what they're saying. Right. And this is Michelle. To me, what is the point? If you were trying to pass along a message to humanity, if you couldn't use language, especially for somebody who might be on the I'm going to say beginning of their spiritual journey, John, because we're always on a spiritual journey because we are spirits. When you first awaken and you're new, you're going to have trouble understanding that stuff. Right, Mother. Those people who use a flowery language, they're sort of misinterpreting the message to the point it does turn many off. Here, I'm going to go and be so bold as to say, those who want to be highfalutin spiritualists here, right, accept those messages, whether they understand them or not. They just run away with them. Yes, we did listen. Yes, Ralph Smart. He didn't channel. This was an actual incarnated being here. Right, a yogi. Right. I can't remember his name. I couldn't pronounce it if I wanted to, John. Right. He, every time Ralph used a term like, well, ascension, vibrational frequency. Yeah, the yogi was like, what are they having? Is it a radio station? Right. In other words, even though, yes, he is further along on his spiritual journey. That's why he's a yogi. Am I getting that right? Right, Mom. So, he was trying to get the message to Ralph, you do not need those fancy words. And like, I think it was Grandpa who explained it. Higher vibrational frequency, thanks, Dan, means a happier, higher place to live. Higher vibrational means nothing more than happiness and joy. Love. The vibration of love is the highest vibration, my mother always says. It is not necessarily a frequency. And that is what this yogi was trying to say. We don't need all the fancy language. And like I have pointed out, this is John Patrick, upstairs, we don't have these words and labels. So sometimes I have to check in to see what everyone is talking about down here. So, in other words, you don't need fancy, highfalutin messages to believe you're getting the right answer from upstairs. Now, what people need to do when they are channeling messages, or even just receiving them, is to relax and clear their mind. Not expect flowery language or anything bizarre. And you're right, Mom. After I first crossed over, right, and you had a lot going on with your grief and your excitement to hear from me, you felt like I was talking that way. Right. You were saying things that they weren't straight, like to the point, very odd. Right, Mom, you were so tense and nervous, and you were new at getting back to your psychic mediumship abilities. Right, I had taken a very long break. You know, you get older, yeah. And you think you gotta fit in, and you become a mother, and you have to do the right thing, so you put that stuff aside and ignore it. Exactly, that's what happened with my mother. Okay, my mother. When you return to it, I forgot how to do it. It came natural as a child. Right, very good. It just came natural. Right. It is starting to more or less now. I think it does now. Right. But that is why people think there are such higher levels. Right. Okay, that's a good question. My mother was just thinking, well, you hear about these levels. Oops, I did it again. I'm going to turn that off so you can keep talking. Just give me 1 minute, honey. Hold that thought. I meant to do this, everyone. I'm so sorry before I turn on the camera. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, as I was saying, there are not really different levels. And yes, you did hear about that one mother who spent a great deal of time with her child after he crossed over, and then she said he moved up levels, and this concerned you. Would there come a day, this Michelle, when my son would become so advanced he wouldn't be coming to see me? Right, Mother, we did talk about that, yes, but let's explain it to everybody. How about you do that? Okay, Mom. So, whenever, yes, our person here gets to the point in their grief where they can move on and don't need us as much, we don't come back unless we're asked for or we're needed for something. Now that makes sense, my mother is saying. You became upset, right? It concerned me. That this young man who crossed over moved up so high, he never came to see his mother. But she did point out she didn't need him to anymore. You're having trouble accepting that. Right, now, this is Michelle. I don't need my son around 24/7 anymore because it's been 7.5 years. I've worked through my grief. I still grieve. That never goes away. But I'm at a point where I enjoy life. I can get on with my life. I have friends. I have a new lifestyle. I don't need him here all the time. Where at the beginning it was like, where's John? Where's John? But I would want you, like any mother, just like when you were here. He didn't call, he didn't write. Come in and see me sometime, or, and we do this stuff. Right, Mother. I'm not sure what their relationship was like here. You always felt we were closer than most mothers and sons, right? Especially when I was raising you. Right. And we are. I have no intention of getting so highfalutin. It doesn't really happen up there, does that? No, Mother, it does not. That I wouldn't come visit my mother. Now, I'm sure this young man comes and checks on his mother, and she's not paying attention. Busy, moves on his way. Right. And that's how that works. Now, when there's a more advanced being, and yes, you might get a different style of speech. Oops, sorry, honey. Speaking of different style, I got it. Right. I say style. How do you say that, Mother? Style. Right. Hold on, let me get out of the way here. Okay. Probably someone who, right, last incarnated in a different era where they spoke different. I did it again. And that's what that's about. Right, now you hear of spirit guides, angels, higher beings that never incarnate, and they're supposed to be more highly intelligent. Oh, John, I think, yeah, right, you just got it, Mom. Those who never, ever incarnated know nothing but love. Kind of like you are here, Mom. You don't understand the chaos, the trauma. Yeah, the trauma. All the, well, what do you call it? Yeah, the shit, right, that goes on here. My mother can't appreciate it. Though that's more of what they're like. They appear above us because they haven't experienced the hardships we've experienced by incarnating. So we don't talk down. I'm sorry, down. Keep doing it. We don't talk down to people. We speak as who we are. So someone who has never incarnated only knows that loving for, yes, freedom. So they will tell us how to remain at that point. Okay, well that makes sense. Right, Mother, it does. Now, hi everyone, it's Gypsy from Gypsy Witch Creations, and today I would like to introduce to you the latest addition to my Live Free collection. The Live Free collection is to express your desire to maintain your freedoms, freedom of speech, freedom of choice, etc. Live your own life. This painting is called Red Pill or Blue Pill, and it is based on the movie The Matrix, and it will be printed on all the usual merchandise that you see in the Live Free collection, such as magnets, bumper stickers, mugs, shirts, etc. So check it out at gypsywitchcreations.com. Now, those of us who have incarnated, especially several hundred times or 1,000 times, know how to speak to humanity, especially on this planet, in such a manner uh, that were understandable. So you're not really getting a being that is so much, I'm not going to say different, more knowledgeable, or at a higher vibration than anybody else upstairs. These are misnomers people have come to believe. And yes, it is true, we sometimes let that go. And let everybody believe that. Okay? Because it helps them advance spiritually. Right. It is more along your attitude here, Mom. Just because my mother has advanced more spiritually, she wants to say some, I'm going to say that, right, than most, doesn't make her any better. And you know damn well, right, your higher self, your soul, that higher part of yourself that's upstairs, remains upstairs, was once at the point that others here are now. So you know you're not any better. And what you also just thought, there will come a day, a time, when those people who are, I want to say, less spiritually advanced, and yes, this includes who people consider evil, less spiritually advanced, will be at the point my mother is now, and you'll be at other point where other people are. Right, kind of like that yogi. And right, you don't really know if you are as advanced, right, or less so. Right, I think that's hard from John. This is Michelle. While you're incarnated, I don't think you can really pass judgment on who's at what point. It's hard to tell while we're wearing these costumes and have all these barriers. Oh, that's a good point. Oh, that was Aunt Charlotte. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm kind of interpreting for Aunt Charlotte. Aunt Charlotte said, yeah, that's a good point. We're wearing these costumes. Really? Meat suits, I've heard people call them. Right. Yuck. Right, that's a disgusting term. Right. And you also have those barriers up to protect yourself in realms like these. This is the earth plane. It is more what we're going to call these days, I guess, lower vibrational frequency, and other term would be less advanced. This is a less advanced planet. So dimension, right, they say 3D in Charlotte, right. So all that means is you are not as, that's true. 3D might mean physical. This is Michelle and Charlotte, and I just threw that back and forth very quickly. I'm not sure. Yeah, even for my mother, the terminology doesn't mean much. But how do you explain it without the terminology? Right. So 3D might mean a physical, because yeah, when you glimpse into the fifth or higher, yeah, it looks different, and it's not physical. Right. Even physical looks different. Right. So yeah, let's keep it at vibrational. Right. So vibrationally, the earth plane is, we're going to say, extremely low. Yeah. That's why some of my family members chose an early out. It's like, I can't do it anymore. Right. The two cousins, John and Brandon. Brandon just crossed over on Monday. I know this is going to seem morbid. I don't want his mother to see this. But hey, Brandon, congratulations. You got out of here. Sorry, Patty. Right. And Vic. Right. And that's true. It is hard to be here. Right. You're too advanced to understand people's attitudes to want to stay here. I do kind of, but right. So there really is in essence, there is no hierarchy upstairs or even here. Right. I'm going to say you guys now because I'm now on the other side. Right. You guys have created, sorry, I just had that thought, honey. I'm sorry. Right. Created that atmosphere of better. And yes, it's based on your credit score. And now this silly thing, what's it? A social score? Mom, stop that. I can't help it. I cannot help keeping myself from making fun of the earth realm. I mean, and when I heard about a social score, oh my God, I was hysterically laughing. Mine has got to be bad. Right. So there is no hierarchy. There are, I'm sorry, honey. Let me get out of the way again. There are, it hurts my tongue, right? Different types of beings. That does not make them better or even more knowledgeable. Right, your area of expertise is different, and that's all. We don't consider them better or worse, more advanced. Right. So you have, there are angels, Mother. Okay. You people have given us all names. I'm getting, for my namesake, right. Archangel Michael. Is it? Yes, he just came in and said, you guys give us these names. Right. So that's how you get named after, well, me. Who is like God. It's not a question. Archangel Michael. That's what our name means. It's not a question, Christians. No, we are all part of the Creator. Right, so yeah, it's in there. Sorry. Right. Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to go there. I couldn't help myself. This Michelle and John's talking over me. I did it too. Yeah, leave it to the two of us. You wouldn't believe the conversations we used to have before you left there. Anyways, yeah, that month is over. We're not going to talk about that. Right. Suicide Prevention Month. I did yesterday. Thank God. The screaming mother hates that month. Yeah, my son did commit suicide. I'm sorry, I got off track, honey. Right. Okay, so you and Archangel Michael just had a moment. That's what did that. So there are angels, and they do serve various purposes. Different than what you might think here. They are protectors. That part's true. Right. Now, spirit guides, right, they're not who you guys, well, used to think. Many of you are catching on to who we really are. In my case, it's not that far-fetched to figure out who. Sorry. Right. Anyways, sometimes we appear, right, what our family calls more highfalutin because of our jobs. Sorry, honey. Or were you talking? Right. Our jobs are different. Okay, so hold on, I need to clear here. Okay. So, this is John. I'm actually inside my mother right now talking, which is why, right, we're over talking to each other. So I'm interpreting what Uncle Wesley is saying. What he is saying is I have been, well, Michelle's, did you say guardian? No. Spirit guide. Well, since the day she was born. I chose to be her spirit guide. Right, I'm Ken's, I would have been his big brother. I crossed over at, right, 6 months before Kenny was even born. Excuse me. So it is usually someone you know, or we're supposed to know. Right. You want to talk about that? Right. It's usually someone you know upstairs. Right, someone from your soul group, we call it. Okay. So obviously, I would be in Michelle's soul group. Right. So it's usually someone you know, or even knew here. Right. Now, Michelle is not very aware after her abuelita, my grandmother, died. Right. Now both of them are. Oh, good. Both my grandmas. Right. Are her spirit guides. Right. And that's how that usually works. A lot of people don't understand who their spirit guides actually were here or are. And right. It could be a distant ancestor. It could have been your great-grandmother. Right. Or somebody even further back, so these people are not aware of who they are. They come from a different time period. They're going to sound different, maybe more highfalutin, whatever. Right. Sicilian and hillbillies. How does that happen? Yeah. Anyways, never mind. So that's how that happens. There is no real hierarchy, and there are other beings. Yeah, those are in the angel category. Sorry, Persephone's out there hunting. Right. Um, and there are others people are not aware of. Right, go ahead, say that mother. Um, yeah, I would assume so, because I know when we're down here, we think we know it all about the spiritual realm. And we don't. There's so much more. Even psychic mediums, or even that yogi, we don't know everything. If you come to the conclusion you know everything, you don't know anything at all. There's no way we could possibly know it, especially here, while we're incarnated. So there's got to be more beings, more of everything. Right, Mom? And that's how that works. The higher beings are not so much highfalutin. If they have incarnated, it may have been a long time ago, they haven't done it in a while, they're done incarnating, whatever. They come from a different period of time that might sound more highfalutin. Our messages, we always try to get very direct. So, when it is not direct, and it sounds like we're talking in circles, right? That is what was happening with me right after you crossed over. But man, when you're a grieving parent, you got a lot of shit going on, right? That was happening. The person who is translating, I'm going to say, is such a nervous wreck. They're not clear. They haven't cleared their mind. So, that's all there is to it. It's not as fancy, it's complicated, Mother, as people like to think here. We're not fancy pants upstairs. Right. It's down here we try to do that. Well, at least in the earthly plane. Right. So, that is what higher beings are. Yes, there's angels, spirit guides, and now you guys know, well, who are actually spirit guides? And that's a good point. How could you guide someone in the earthly plane if they've never incarnated here? Right. Now, Uncle Wes, his last life was only 6 months. He's incarnated before. Not with that accident, no. So, you didn't, in your other life, you didn't say incarnated. Right. Like his niece does. Right. And that's how that is. So there isn't really any... it's not native. There isn't really any highfalutin in our family, that's for sure. It's grandma. It's your grandmother. Hi, Grandma. The beautiful Regina Becker Buchheit. Right. Right. So in our family, yeah, we're known to be hillbillies. Don't let Gina hear this. She gets mad. No, we were called white trash then. Yeah, right. Yet, well, Grandma, yeah, right. Our family was noted for that here. We called it hills, right? Dad, do you want to correct your mother? No, this is a joke. Right. Yet upstairs, we're all good enough, equal. Whether we're called hillbillies, redneck, white trash. Right. Upstairs, we're all equal, and we can all take the job of spirit guides for one of our loved ones down here. Could you get a stranger grab? I mean, does that happen to some people? It wouldn't necessarily be a stranger. It would be somebody that that person's spirit is familiar with. Right. This way you'd be comfortable, whether you knew that person in this life or not, this incarnation. Wow, okay. Well, that's interesting. Right. So even though our family was hillbillies, rednecks, is Grandpa's neck still red? Is Dad's? Okay. I'm just joking with my family. Right. Upstairs, you can take on any job you want that you're qualified for. Now, in order to be, well, a spirit guide or anything that has to do with the earthly plane, you do have to have the qualification of having incarnated here. That makes sense, right? Now, the angels and things like that, they don't usually incarnate. Yeah, those are just stories people make up. Archangel Michael is saying, no, we have I've never incarnated, he said. Was that me or him? I heard, who would want to? It couldn't have been me. Right? Michael said that. Don't do it. Right? It's scary. Especially here. Right. And that's how that works. You have to have certain qualifications. Qualification for a spirit guide is, yes, to have incarnated before. Now, you were just thinking of Jamie Butler. She channels who was probably someone she knew in a past life and upstairs. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. Right. That person obviously is from a past time period. Very lovely English accent she has. Right. And she drinks her tea well in Jamie's body. Mm-hmm. So it was somebody she knew, somebody who incarnated. That's the only way that can happen. Well, that makes sense. Thank you. You're welcome. So, is that it? Did we cover it? We pretty much did, Mom. So yes, incarnating is a requirement. Well, to be a spirit guide, nobody's special. You might be special in the person's life, or were, right? But there is no this being is better than that being. Even Archangel Michael, Archangel, warrior, right, goes around defending people. Well, from what goes on here, right, and any untoward beings in the spirit realm. And this is a topic we are going to talk on someday. We're not going to do it right now. It's coming soon. Right, we're going to talk about what that means. So, we're going to leave you with that. Take it away, Mother. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.